Okay, today's video is going to be simple. I'm going to continue my watching of Jalen Milroe in the offensive line to see how they progress as the season has moved along. Today I'm going to talk about how they did in the Tennessee game, at least on some of the plays that kind of stood out, some of the highlights. Jumping right into it, here we are, first quarter, 9 minutes, 10 seconds left. Alabama's down 7-0 Tennessee. Alabama starts out in 11 personnel here on this play. One running back, one tight end. Got Jermaine Burton to the far right. You got Bond playing a slot on the left side. And you have a receiver on the far left, which I believe is Benson. So what you're going to notice on this play, starting out, is that the protection here is actually pretty solid. This is the offensive line improved tremendously from the game last week. And I think Arkansas, whatever they did schematically, they just seem to have that pass rush on that end. 40 did a great job last week, but here on this play, as you can see, pass protection actually held up pretty well. Jalen Milroe does like the quick shuffle up in the pocket. I will say that the pressure does come in from the right side. Jalen Milroe progresses to his third read on this play, which is Benson on that far left, which I believe is like a deep dig route here. But you'll notice that like he starts out, he's looking to his right, kind of middle of the field, kind of checks back, and then he makes his way to the left, and he's looking upfield because he knows that Benson is coming in on that far left. So Benson's all the way on the left side, runs about 10, 15 yards up the field, cuts inside on a dig route, and bam, deep in, hits him for the first down. And that was his third read. If you notice, he's looking to the right, so he's looking for Jermaine Burton. That's his go-to guy. Then he looks in the middle of the field for Isaiah Bunn across the middle. That's not there, and so he's coming to Benson, who's coming on a deep end route. So that's just once again to say Jalen Milroe does make his way through his progressions. Whether or not you think it's fast enough or whether you believe he can do it a little bit quicker, that's not the point. I'm addressing the fact that he does make his progressions and he'll continue to get better as he continues to get these reps and takes his time through the season. You guys have to remember, he is in his 10th start total. No matter how many years he's been in the program, this is on like his 10th start, which is, man, just kind of crazy to think about. And so we're going on to the next play. This is actually, Jalen's going to make a mistake in this play that I'm showing you right now. So here we see in the first quarter, 1 minute, 24 seconds left, Alabama is got, this is technically 11 personnel, one running back, one tight end, but they have Amari Nyblack on the field at tight end. He's split out as a wide receiver, so effectively they have 3 wide receivers on the left side, 1 wide receiver set to the right, 5 pass blockers total. Rodale Williams is the running back set to Jalen Milroe's right. Jalen Milroe's going to make a mistake here. So obviously when you have 5 guys and you know that your left tackle is a little weak at pass protecting at this time, I have to keep saying that they all can grow, they all can develop, and I feel like people forget that. People say, this player's not doing exactly what I want them to do at this specific time, therefore that player sucks or is a bad player. First of all, that's very polarizing. There's different categories that you can put people in. You can be terrible, you can be bad, you can be below average, you can be average, you can be above average, you can be good, you can be great, you can be excellent, you can be elite. People usually think you either elite or bad, and that's just really bad evaluating to begin with, but that's another story. On this particular play, you have 5 blockers, and your left tackle is needed to grow Jalen. So Jalen takes this snap, he steps back, and he does nice little movement in pocket. He only shifts himself forward a little bit as he's getting ready, I think, to getting ready to throw the ball. Unfortunately, he doesn't step up in the pocket, considering that both his left tackle and right tackle are dealing with rushers who rush up the field. So if they rush up the field, you should have a little bit more room right in front of you, which he did. And unfortunately, he didn't take that. And that left him exposed as he's getting ready to cock back to maybe make a throw. And the defensive end grit stab throwing arm and gets a strip, and this is on 3rd and 6. So on this 3rd and 6 play, Jalen gets stripped, and Tennessee recovers the fumble. So Jalen's what he needs to improve at here is that even when you have a solid pocket, you want to keep yourself aware of what's going on around you and step up. So what he could have did here was stepped up in the pocket with a couple more hitches, and I think he would have been okay and probably would have converted this first down. So a mistake there, but that's something that he obviously can correct. We're actually going to go to another play, which was another mistake here. So this is in early second quarter, 13 minutes and 6 seconds left. Alabama's down 13-0. This is a 3rd and 7. Now, this is an interesting play call. I don't mind it. A lot of people may be wondering, why are you calling a run play on 3rd and 7? I don't necessarily mind it considering who we have. And on this play, Rodale and Jalen Milroe. Alabama's in 11 personnel. Amari Nyblack is the tight end set to the right, and you got 3 wide receivers, 2 on the left side, 1 on the right. Alabama's going to call a read option play here. So a read option, if you don't know, is when a quarterback takes a snap, you intentionally do not block someone off the edge. Alabama this time is going to intentionally not block the left end. So that's the guy who's on the right tackle in the tight end side of the line of scrimmage. That guy rushes forward, right? And on this particular play, you're going to see the quarterback is going to wait to see what this defender does. On the read option, you read that player, you key him, and if that defender, if that left end crashes down on the handoff, because you're faking the handoff at the beginning, you're waiting to see. If the defender crashes down the handoff, the quarterback's supposed to pull the ball out and run. If the defender stops and waits to see what the quarterback is doing, you're supposed to hand it off to Roydell. On this play, Jalen pulls the ball even though the left end doesn't necessarily crash down on the mesh point. I'll say this is very difficult to execute. Like, some teams make it look really easy, but if you don't run this all the time, it can be hard, especially when a defender gets close. Like this left end, some defenders on this type of play, they stay further back when they're reading, and then they wait. This defender came up really close, within about 2 yards of them, and he stops. And on that, you might be thinking, the quarterback's probably thinking, oh, this defender's going to keep going and take my running back. But number 55 didn't do that. Number 55 looked at Jalen, and as Jalen pulled it out, it was too late. You can't try to give it to him after that point, so Jalen just has to run. And unfortunately, when Jalen tries to run, number 55 gets a good grip of him, takes him down in the backfield. Like I said, maybe some may be wondering why run a running play on 3rd and 7. Like I said, I don't necessarily mind it considering how talented Jalen and Roydell, these guys are. But that was a really good play by Tennessee, and Jalen also has to learn some experience in being able to do the read option play. So we're going to go on. And I know a lot of you really like this play that's coming up. We're in the second quarter now, the next drive. 3rd and 7. There were a lot of 3rd and 7s here. Alabama's down 13-0, 7 minutes, 11 seconds left. Once again, 11 personnel, but Amari Nightblack is set out at wide receiver. So effectively, you have 3 wide receivers on the right side. Jermaine Burton isolated at the bottom of the screen to the left side. So Tennessee's running the zone coverage here, but they have 5 people on line of scrimmage against Alabama's 5 blockers. They're not going to send them all, I don't believe. They don't. One of the guys drops back into coverage, and this is a zone. Based on how this looks, it looks kind of cover 3-ish. So what happens here is that Jermaine Burton's going to run up the field, right? And he's going to get above the zone that goes underneath him into the flat. And he's got a defender on his left side running like a zone and toward, like, covering from where they are to the back of the end zone. And then you're going to have one safety who's playing the zone in the middle of the field area right next to that. So effectively what you got is that you have a cornerback zoning off the far left, and you have a safety who's kind of in the middle of the field closer to that left side. Jermaine Burton and Jalen Milroe are going to hook up here, and I love this. Jermaine Burton runs a route that sticks in the middle of that zone, kind of like a hook there. He comes up, runs a good route. He does some good footwork here. A lot of people talk about the fact that, it was a nice catch and a good throw from Jalen, or they might talk about the fact that he kind of pushed the guy off with his feet afterwards. They don't talk about what he did to really sell the fact that he's about to get open here. Like, so his footwork makes the defender hesitate and go toward the pylon, because the defender's playing outside leverage on Jermaine Burton. Outside leverage is when the DB lines up on the outside hip, the hip that's facing the sideline, and that's where the DB kind of comes back, and he's playing zone, he's looking at Jalen, and he's running up the field. So Jermaine Burton really leans into that. He does like some really sharp jabs with his feet to the left, which makes the cornerback hesitate and kind of move toward the sideline a little bit. Jermaine Burton then immediately turns around, hooks for a curl route, and Jalen Milroe's already throwing that ball. He has a strong arm. He really zips it in there. Bam. Jermaine Burton catches the ball. It's an easy touchdown before number 2, that safety, gets a chance to come over there and impact that ball. So it was a good throw from Jalen. It was a really good route from Jermaine Burton against his zone cover. So what I really like about this is that people won't typically give Jalen credit, but like on this play, he's executing a really nice curl route against zone coverage in the red zone. And the red zone's really packed in and tough to make good throws against, especially with zone, because the defenders are watching you and they're waiting on you to throw the ball. So the fact that he can zip that in there, Jermaine Burton can run that good route against a zone coverage in the red zone, I'm giving him all the credit and props for that. That's really cool. Now we're going to get into a little bit later in the second quarter. Alabama actually moved the ball down the field here. It's second Quarter, 3 minutes, 15 seconds left, 2nd and 7. This is the interception. We tried to take this one-on-one coverage with Jermaine Burton versus the DB here. They tried to press Jermaine. Jermaine actually gets kind of like half a step on the guy up the field. So obviously this play was called probably by Tommy Rees to like, hey, shot play into the end zone, get this touchdown. And honestly, I like the call. I don't mind it. A lot of people say it may have been a bad call. I don't think so. The defender actually just played it much better than I thought he would, or than Alabama thought they could, actually, because Jermaine Burton's been beating people pretty well, and this DB actually just so happened to really step up. So he played inside leverage to start this play. Jermaine Burton takes the outside as soon as this play is snapped. The pass protection does pretty good here. Roydell Williams actually does some really good pass protection. Look at your running back. Look at your running back. I'm going to say it again. Look at your running back doing some good pass protection here on this play. Holds this guy up. Jalen Milroe then lofts the ball up. He does a good job on these one-on-one plays, throwing the ball here. And it's going toward the end zone. There, and unfortunately, the ball bounces off Jermaine Burton's left shoulder pad. So it's like if they're running up the field, the ball hits him on the left shoulder pad, and it pops up, it deflects, and it lands in the safety's hands, and it's an interception. Now, I don't think this throw was terrible, but it could have been better, and I'll explain how. What Jalen Milroe could have done here is that when he's throwing that ball up in that one-on-one coverage, when you're going toward the end zone, you want to put it toward the back right pylon. That would have been the most optimal place to throw that ball. So it would have been over your wide receiver's shoulder, but on the outside shoulder. That way that defender, who still, he didn't get a hand on it to begin with regardless, but that would have completely taken out any possible way for that defender to get a hand on it. And even if it was deflected, it would have been less likely to hand in the safety's hand. So there were two things. Jalen could have thrown that ball over the outside shoulder toward the back right pylon and just maybe throw it slightly earlier. So like he wasn't super late on this throw, but it was late enough to where the ball hit Jermaine Burton on his left shoulder, and his right shoulder was what was ahead. And so the fact that his left shoulder means that it was kind of slightly behind, still catchable, by the way. I would argue that this ball is still catchable. I don't care what you say, like it's there. It's an unfortunate bounce of a play. I don't really blame Jalen for this interception. It's just kind of a freaky play. But the two things that would have made it better, back right pylon over the shoulder, on the right shoulder, and thrown slightly earlier. If he does that, that's a perfect throw, and Jermaine Burton probably catches that for a touchdown. Unfortunately, it's an interception. Tennessee goes down the field, makes it 20-7. But Tennessee had all these means of like being up and having this opportunity to win this game. And Alabama made like these unfortunate things happen: strip sack, interception, all of that. Alabama still was able to come back, and let's talk about how with some of these plays that are coming up. And so obviously halftime goes through, and it's now third quarter. Early Alabama came out strong. It is now 14 minutes, early third quarter, 26 seconds left in the game in the quarter, 1st and 10. Alabama here has got 12 personnel, which is one running back, two tight ends. Both of the tight ends are set to the left side, and you got Jermaine Burton, you got Isaiah Bond on the field. Jermaine Burton's running motion before the play coming in. So as this ball is snapped, Jermaine Burton's motion is still there. You have Nyblack and you have Dupree on the left side. Dupree kind of engages his guy, goes up. Nyblack's running the out route, a deeper out route, I should say, or like kind of like up the field, going up the field, kind of like a wheel, almost like a wheel. It's hard to say. The type of route he runs is not important. It's not even a wheel. It kind of starts like one. He kind of moves in, kind of loops around, goes up the field, and does kind of like a little curl. Dupree does a very like short 3 to 4 yard out route, and Jermaine Burton, after he motions underneath Isaiah Bond on that right side, he goes upfield and runs a deep in route past the first down marker. Now, if you notice, I just said that 3 out of the 4 receiving options on this play all ran routes to the left side of the field, and they're all within about 15 yards of the line of scrimmage. What makes this very, very interesting, what makes this fun, so I got to applaud. So I love to applaud Tommy Rees when he does something cool. This play is basically designed to be a shot to Isaiah Bond, and that's who gets this ball, obviously, as you can see on this play. But it's designed well because Isaiah Bond's is the only route. It's a deep, skinny post. So it's not like a hard post where you run about 10, 15 yards of the field, then sharply take an angle toward the pylon. This play is like you run 10, 15 yards up the field, and then you slightly angle yourself like an acute angle up the seam. This is great against zone coverage, just like cover 3 and things like that. where you want to hit above the linebacker, but don't want to run directly into the zone of the linebacker underneath or the safety who's right above your head. And but this play works really well because Tennessee, their zone is now being pulled toward all of those routes that went toward the left sideline. So like I said, Dupree, Nyblack, Jermaine Burton, all within 15 yards, left sideline. They taking 4 Tennessee defenders who are in their secondary to the left side of the field. All Isaiah Bond has to do is get up the field on this skinny post. And of course, Jalen Milroe lets it fly. The remaining 3 defenders were all occupied. Probably we're looking at those 3 receivers who were on that left side. And so Isaiah Bond, being as speedy as he is, runs past all of them. Well-designed play, well executed by the offense. Great touchdown throw by Jalen Milroe. Just had to say that. Now we're moving on. So now we're going to have Milroe doing another great thing here. This is just a little bit later. This is the next drive after they they scored. They stopped Tennessee. They got the ball back. 11 minutes, 15 seconds left in the third quarter. This is a 1st and 15, so obviously Alabama made a mistake here. And so what happens is that Alabama is once again in 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Rodale Williams is still in. You have Amari Nyblack on the right side next to J.C. Latham at right tackle. And you have, I think that's Oots, to the left of 74, Caden Proctor, the freshman left tackle. On this play, you're going to see Jalen Milroe do something really cool. You got 2 receivers to the left. You got Isaiah Bond, and you got, I think that's Burton, who's in a slot. Jalen takes this snap. Tennessee's rushing 4, so there's 7 people in coverage. You got Rodale Williams, who immediately is running a swing route to his left. So what you may notice that Amari Nyblack is he's running a route. And Amari Nyblack is going to run what I assume is probably like a out route or a corner route. And you're going to have Jermaine Burton coming across the middle field, what I assume is either a slant or a deep end route. So now you got 2 guys, one coming across the middle for Milroe. You got one going toward the right sideline for Milroe. So on that right side, he has 2 options he can take. And if you notice when he snapped this ball, he's looking that way. So he takes a snap. Immediately, he's looking that way. He's looking in the middle of the field. He's looking to the right, and he realized they're not there. And then his other receiving option, so the tight end Oots also comes across on a drag route, which is like the tight end basically comes up, just runs shallow right across Jalen Milroe's field of vision. Jalen Milroe does a little pump fake as if he's going to throw it there. And if you notice, that pump fake is effective. And I know that pump fake was intentionally looking at Oots, number 45, because the linebacker, number 6, who's covering him, also hits Oots on that play as if he's expecting the ball to come that way. And if you notice, he knocks him down. So obviously Jalen Milroe does that to fake out the defenders and maybe move some of those DBs who are looking up the field thinking that he's throwing the ball here. And then he immediately progresses to his, which I believe is either his 3rd or 4th read on this play. Probably Oots may have been like a check down. So I would say 3rd read, Isaiah Bond running a deep, long developing dig route on this play. Jalen Milroe then looks to the left. So remember, he was looking at the right. He was looking at the middle of the field. He looks to his left, seeing Isaiah Bond run 10, 15 yards to the field, cut inside on a dig route, and he hits him for 1st down here. This is a fantastic play for Alabama, for Jalen Milroe. This is a well-designed play, and it's also a well-executed play, and I like to see this type of thing. Once again, I just say Jalen Milroe does make his reads. He is looking. He's hitting the plays here. Well done by him. Now we're going to go into another play. It's the same drive, I believe. Actually, it's a little bit later. It's 3rd and 3, about 5 minutes and 8 seconds left in the third quarter. It's now 20-17. Alabama has the ball here. So what happens is Alabama once again, we're switching it up this time. It's 11 personnel. Running back, 1 tight end. Jason McClellan is set to Jalen Milroe's right, and you got tight end on the left side. You got Jermaine Burton closest to the line of scrimmage on that right side with 3 wide receivers. Isaiah Bond's in the slot. He's in motion before the play, and you have a receiver down on the far right who I can't see really that well. But this is a 3rd and 3 play. Jalen Milroe actually is going to get to convert this 1st down, but it's really interesting because the tight end may be an easier option here. But as you can see, Isaiah Bond is running a route right in front. It's like a drag route here. He's coming right across Jalen Milroe's face. And on this drag route, you got a Tennessee defender, which I think this is a zone. The pass protection actually is pretty solid right here, which is nice. But that Tennessee defender probably is going to destroy Isaiah Bond if Jalen Milroe throws that ball. which I'm glad he didn't because Isaiah Bond would have got hit. But if you notice, look at the tight end. You may not have noticed, but number 81, Dupree, actually runs a little curl route right in the middle of the field, right past the first down marker. That probably would have been the easiest play here to make, and he probably would have got a first down. And Dupree's actually calling for the ball. He's like, wait, throw it to me, as Jalen unleashes up the field. But Jalen also sees that he has Jermaine Burton running a deep end route. So Jalen likes those deep end routes. This probably was the more dangerous throw. But Jalen, I love his confidence, because even if you might say, okay, take that throw to Dupree, which I for sure absolutely get the easy first down. But on this play, Jalen trusts himself, and a quarterback who's confident plays really well. And I've made a video earlier this year, just actually like 2 or 3 videos. I said Jalen Milroe is scary when he's confident, because when he is and he's making those throws, he believes he can make them, and he fits the ball in places that are like, this is great. And this is an example of that. This play, it wasn't a bad throw. He wasn't covered or like anything. It just was the more risky play, but it got more yards. And he hits Jermaine Burton here and gets a really nice first down conversion on 3rd and 3. Even though the tight end Dupree was open underneath. Let me know what you think about that, though. Do you just want your quarterback to always take that shorter route, or do you want them to take some risk like this sometimes? I personally really like this. I think this is a sign of development. So let's come on and round it on out, y'all. We got 3 more plays. We got Milroe here on the design run. I know a lot of you like this. A lot of you like this type of play. So it's like not too long after this, maybe the next play. 3rd quarter, 4 minutes, 27 seconds left. 11 personnel, although it's really more like 12 because you got 2 tight ends, but they're functioning like 11 personnel because Amari Niblack's on the field. Alabama does something really simple, and I know y'all like this. You're probably really happy Tommy Rees called it, but it is simply a design quarterback run off tackle by Jalen Milroe, and he just natural running. Look at him just get through that stiff arm. The stiff arm, I think we got to really people outside. He just pushed that Tennessee defender down like, dude, get off me. And this is well designed. I like these type of plays because, one, I think it's easy yards for Milroe. He's super talented, really big, long stride. He's going to eat up yards and really get downfield. I think all y'all remember that 85-yarder he had against Texas A&M last year. But this is a really good play, well designed. I like it when Jalen Milroe doesn't take hits on these type of plays. And this is an example of where he gets up the field, he doesn't take a hard hit. I really like that. Unfortunately, on this next play, he does the same thing. It's not a design play. This is a called pass play, but he takes a hit on this next play, which I don't like because I don't want him taking too many hits. On this play, pass protection actually holds up pretty well. It's now the 4th quarter now. Alabama scored on that last drive, and they kind of moved forward here. 12 minutes, 50 seconds left. Pass protection here, you got Rodell Williams in the backfield. Jalen Milroe now. So what I like is that a lot of people don't come in on this type of thing when he does this. Number 90 is looping on a stunt coming around, gets a free rush at Jalen. Jalen doesn't sit there and take this sack like a lot of people want him to, or like they expect him to. This is 3rd and 10. He moves up and around that play, sees the open field in front of him, and he takes off. I love it. He takes off. He's running up the field. He cuts inside, and he gets hit by 3 people. I love that he got the first down. I want him to slide as much as possible. I know he's big. I know he can handle more hits than the average person, but I don't want to see him take all those hits. But this is a well thought out scramble by Jalen Milroe. The stunt was coming. Like I said, like number 90 comes around after his right end crashes down. So the left tackle and the left guard are guarding that crash down, and the 90 comes around and gets through the gap between where they left off. And Jalen Milroe just steps up, lets number 52 get the block, and runs up the field. Like I said, but he takes that hit. I don't like him taking that hit. Last play I'm going to show you from Jalen Milroe on the offensive line. And it ends kind of on a sad note, but this is also something they can improve on because I think this will be really helpful. 4th quarter, that same drive, and it's kind of killed this drive. But Will Riker hit the field goal after this, so it doesn't matter. Caden Proctor, number 74. This is important because this is the 4th quarter, 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7, 9 minutes and 1 second left in the game here. Alabama is going to motion their tight end, Amari Niblack, because there are 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. I say it every time, but just so you know, but effectively functioning like 4 wide receivers out. But Amari Niblack motions in. They're trying to see, is this zone coverage, is this man coverage? And you see, and running back set to his left, but then number 19 is very important here. And I know a lot of you remember this play from the game. He moves along with Niblack as if he's playing man. He moves forward as if he's like, okay, I'm covering this guy. And so that should alert everybody, like, okay, so we have man coverage here, and this guy may be covering Niblack here, who's now moved to the H-back position. Here's the thing. Tennessee has about 3 down line on the field, and number 44, the linebacker, is also there. He backs up, so he's stepping back into zone coverage here, right? And it was a trick, right? Because you're thinking, oh, this is man coverage. It's not. They were actually playing zone. It was a zone blitz, and then probably maybe like a pattern match concept. But the idea here is that they're trying to trick Alabama because they dropped 44 into coverage. They only rushed the 3 down lineman, and number 19 comes on a blitz. He doesn't drop back in the zone, and he does not cover Amari Nyblack. He rushes. But look at what the 3 down lineman did. The right end on this play crashes down. This is number 55. This is the same guy who read the read option really well earlier. He crashes down, but look at what your pass protectors do. Look at the freshman left tackle, 74. Look at the left guard, number 52. They both take on that guy. There's an issue there because also Jason McClellan runs up the field, and I think he's kind of in the pocket for like a quick pass protection scheme here that he's going to shoot out for like a quick outlet. There's a problem on this play. The left tackle should be alerted to the fact that number 19 is coming on the blitz. The guy crashed down. You have help inside because Jason McClellan is now protecting and pass protection on the inside. The left tackle, Caden Proctor, has to be aware that number 19 is coming. And he has to kick out there. That's a communication assignment. That's something he's supposed to see. That's something he's supposed to adjust to. On this play, they did the motion to see what the number 19 was going to do. So Jalen's like, okay, we got our coverage. We're going to then attack this play based on that. The left tackle has to call out and see that guy coming on the blitz. That's a part of what the offensive lineman's job is. So if you're going to blame Jalen Milroe for pre-snap things, you also have to talk about what the offensive line needs to do pre-snap, and this is something that the left tackle should be alerted of. He sees 55 crash down, and instead of letting his guys help inside, he continues to pursue that as if he can impact that play. He cannot. And Tennessee knew that he would do this most likely because they designed this play to like let the crash down happen first. Send number 19 right at Jalen Milroe from the left side. That is as if they knew that the left tackle 74 would not have adjusted to the fact that the blitz was coming on that side, leaving Jalen Milroe wide open for a hit here, a really big hit. He was not expecting that to be there because he was expecting his left tackle to adjust and force that guy to either be blocked or to rush upfield. So this is an example of something that the offensive line can improve on. 74 has to get better identifying these things and making sure that he's not overextending himself. He basically overextended to try to block number 55 crashing down on the line of scrimmage. You cannot do that as an offensive lineman. And that's something that he has to prove on. Jalen takes a hit here. If he doesn't, I'm pretty sure he throws for a first down or scrambles for a first down. Alabama keeps his drive going and maybe even goes up 31-20 instead of 27-20. But there's water under the bridge. It doesn't matter, but I am pointing it out. There's something to notice because I hate when false narratives form. And I think one of the many false narratives is that so many of these Alabama sacks on Jalen Milroe. And I don't agree with that when you have stuff like this happening. There's a lot of factors that influence what goes on, and people look for an easy scapegoat or someone to just throw under the bus really fast about it. But these are all like team-wide issues that need to be addressed. And at the end of the day, Alabama still won. Alabama 7-1. They have time to work it out. They don't have to be a finished product right now. They don't have to be perfect. And that's okay. I think too many people do negative and overzealous criticism under the false guise of, I'm demanding excellence. No, you are expecting perfection and don't know how to appreciate the game for what it is and call out what needs to be corrected, not necessarily doing these bad faith evaluations saying, oh, this person didn't do this, they're bad. That's not how it works. At the end of the day, this is what we see. Alabama won the game. It's good plays from Jalen Milroe. Good plays from the offensive line overall today. Still has some things to clean up. Jalen Milroe still has some things he needs to improve on as well. But they're getting better. So many people said they wouldn't be here. So many people said they're not good enough. And when we look up, they're 7-1. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.